So the Houston Astros, Dusty Baker, I wanted to read some of these comments because the other day the Houston Astros had not the other day, the other series, the first series of the season, the Houston Astros did play the Oakland Athletics in Oakland, where they did sweep the Athletics, and fans were, and then I guess for the Angels too, fans were like throwing like inflatable trash cans on the field. They were yelling cheaters. They were yelling all these different things, like all these different signs. And Dusty Baker came out and said, you can tell the amount of hostility and the hatred of the fans in the stands. How many in the stands have never done anything wrong in their life? We paid the price for it. Okay, let's remember that comment. We paid the price for it. You did, huh? Okay. How many people have not cheated on a test or whatever at some point in time? It's easy if you live in glass houses, but I don't think anybody lives in glass houses. I think sometimes we need to look at ourselves before we spew hate on somebody else. It's a sad situation for America to me. When you hear things, what are the kids supposed to think in the stands? And some of them are kids. They're following their parents. It's sad to me. People make mistakes, and we paid for ours. I wish they'd leave it alone. Okay, what have you paid as Astros players and managers? Dusty Baker, you were not even the manager of the Astros. What have you paid as far as the price for what happened? You didn't pay anything. You didn't pay a fine. You didn't. Your players didn't. Okay? Nothing happened. All they had to do was tell what happened, and then they got off scot-free. Like, wipe your hands, done. But are we really trying to sit there and say, well, the fans should not show any hostility, or should they show all this hostility and they shouldn't be showing that in the stands and their kids are following? First off, let's just go back to last year during a COVID pandemic, fully pandemic baseball season. How many fans were in the stands during that baseball season? None. How many fans were there to watch the Houston Astros, home or away? None. We had no fans in the stands. They were playing baseball with no fans. So forgive the fans if they listen, I am fully open to heckling the players and the coaches this season only. Now, if you want to hold this off past this season, that's a personal problem. That's just my opinion. That's just a personal thing. But the World Series is tainted. 2017, there's no winner in my eyes. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, if you're trying to sit there and say that it did not help the Houston Astros win the World Series, you really think that a baseball player who is trained to see pitches, when they are when they know what's coming, you don't think that gives them an advantage? No, it does. So let's go back to the Astros and the fans. I have no problem with them heckling the Astros. I don't care what anyone says. They didn't get a chance to do it last season. So people want to say, oh, we paid our dues. No, you didn't. You didn't pay anything. Okay? This happened. You got to deal with it. You guys were lucky that if you guys had fans in the stands during a 60-game season that you had this past, last year, then maybe you probably don't have any fans to heckle you this year. However, there was no fans in the stands. It was a shortened season, so now you get to deal with the opposing fans for a full season of 81 away games, plus some playoff games. If you make it to the playoffs, you're going to probably hear it a little bit more. I don't care about your feelings, okay? You don't realize the price that you paid affected a lot of other players. You don't understand what value you try to gain as a player, as a manager. And I understand that the manager was suspended, he took everything. Right? He took the whole blunt, like the whole force of it. All the players had to do was just say what happened, and he was screwed over. He was let go. He was suspended. All of that. A guy who was trying to manage players, when he came out and tried to stop the situation, and he tried to tell him, stop doing this. It's a lot easier to tell a little kid not to pick his nose during baseball than it is to tell a grown man to stop when he's given the opportunity to try and make more money. Oh, I can do this and make more money? Where do I sign? And for anyone that wants to sit there and say, oh, well, he should have never been the manager then, I can promise you, you all would have done the same thing. Try to stop it, and if your guys will not stop, you would have just let it happen. What can you do? He wasn't the only one in the organization that knew what was happening. Everybody in the Houston Astros knew what was happening. So let's not just try to attack the manager. It's the players. It was the manager at the time. It's everybody. I don't care if the fans want to heckle the Astros this year. I don't care. Do what you want, fans. I am allowing it. I don't care. And Houston players, you need to be ready for it. You guys had nothing last season. You had Joe Kelly of the of the LA Dodgers try and scare you with his pitches. That's it. That's all you got. You weren't given anything else. Deal with it. Take this whole season as it is. There are fans in the stands that listen. We all want to release frustration. When we are mad at a situation, or mad at somebody, mad at something that affected our lives. Like if you're Dodger fans, Yankee fans, you're mad about what happened. You're going to heckle them. Like you're going to heckle the Houston Astros. As you should. Your team got affected. Your team, Yankees probably could have made it to the World Series and probably would have won the World Series. I don't know. That we don't know because it never happened. Because the Houston Astros were stealing signs in baseball. I don't care about your feelings. Because did you care about the feelings of all the players and all the fans and everybody you were screwing over? No, you didn't. Dusty Baker, please, just step aside. You were not the manager for the Houston Astros then. Okay? Don't try to sit there and say, we paid our dues. You didn't do nothing. You didn't pay nothing. You still have the rings. You still have the freaking trophy. You didn't pay anything. Step aside. Let the fans heckle however they want. Not hurting the players. Not throwing stuff at the players. Never want that to happen. No. But if you want to bang trash cans, hang signs, you want to heckle them wherever you want to, I have no problem with that. Do not throw stuff at the players. Do not. That is just below the belt. But heckling, saying stuff in the fans, I got zero problem with any of that for the Houston Astros.